Welcome to the Solemn Vanguard channel. Today I wanted to cover something a little different. A few days ago we saw photos of a magazine showing us what will be happening in the anime, the Vanguard anime, the coming episodes. Obviously we see the characters from the Champions of Asia booster, Nagisa, Leon and so forth, but we also see some pictures from a game between Leon and Aichi. And one of these pictures is this. Special thanks to Chris for bringing this to my attention. Maelstrom and a certain character in front of him. Whilst it may not be obvious if you haven't been following for that long, that character looks an awful lot like Tidal Assault. You may say, oh, but all these marine generals from back in the day look awfully alike, and you'd be correct, but there's a few details that make this extra Tidal Assaulty and not Algos or something like that. For one, Algos has a different hat with more blue, he also has large gold plating, a slightly different suit, but more importantly, he doesn't have those gigantic pieces of armor hanging on the side. If we compare this image to older photos of Tidal Assault in the anime, you will quickly jump on board with the fact that this is absolutely Tidal Assault. It's all there. Golden fluffy shoulder things, red tie, grey hair, blue skin, gold lining around the suit, the blue floating cloth thing, the hat. Unless Bushi is absolutely bamboozling us here, it looks like Tidal Assault is making a return in the V series of Vanguard, and thus, this also means Tidal Assault will be getting a print for Standard. Obviously, Bushi has been printing many nostalgic, iconic units for Standard, but up till now it wasn't sure Tidal would make a comeback. He was only released in booster set 13, which is way later than most cards we see making a return in Q4. Regardless, it looks like Tidal Assault was too iconic to miss, and I do agree with this choice because, well, Aqua Force main, I guess I'm biased. Tidal Assault is arguably the biggest ace card Aqua Force has ever had. An easy auto-include ever since it was released in almost every Aqua Force deck just for being Tidal Assault. That begs the question, what will happen to his skill? Will we see a reprinting of the exact same skill? If that's the case, we might have another ridiculous staple on our hands. Tidal Assault is simply so damn good and can turn an entire early game around on its own. Many people actually advocated against his return for this reason. If he just gets his good old restand skill back with no cost and just a minus 5k, that could be very, very good for Aqua Force. Even better so in combination with the Excel Circle and front triggers. And since that skill is so versatile and costless, it would also mean this is a staple for the coming years, while some of the cards we've seen in Q4 will obviously be replaced the second time something new comes out for the clan. Another thing to consider is what will happen to Algos. Algos is the cover unit for the Aqua Force trial deck, and considering we saw Naval Gazer in the anime's preview, Algos will very likely be a grade 2, just like he used to be. If this trial deck follows the same pattern as the Aichi and Kai trial decks, Algos will be a staple unit even when the booster drops. So this means Algos needs to do something that isn't what Tidal Assault already does, whilst also being good enough to still be a 4-off staple. Algos' old skill is pretty shit, considering it's a restricted on-hit draw skill, and since it won't be a Tidal clone like how Jumping Jill is going to be a purple trapezist clone, Algos will need to bring something to the Aqua Force deck that isn't what Tidal brings, whilst also not being his shit old skill, because that's just plain bad. Perhaps it's gonna be a draw engine when you hit a certain battle regardless of hitting, but then one could argue, are you really gonna let Excel clans do hard plussing? Either way, sorry for the rambling right there, I just get very, very hyped for Aqua Force stuff. I could easily theory craft for hours on this clan. The important news is, I guess, Tidal Assault is likely, very likely back, and now we gotta eagerly wait for the skill. I guess we'll find out some details from the trial deck this Saturday already when the new episode drops. That's all for today, hope you found this interesting, and if you did, please subscribe to this channel and click the bell button to stay up to date. Leave a like on this video and let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. I will see you soon. Ciao.